Hello and welcome back to the Liminal Branch Library, the archive in the seams. I'm your archivist and librarian, Mordio Crow. And tonight, I'm also your artist. Yeah, it's a strong word. I was in the void. Yeah, I noticed. Phased into the wrong location. That's part of the problem with this art thing. Sometimes I just show up in the wrong spot. But hello. Here we are. You don't believe the Nova in chat. Nova's busy tonight. That's why there's no Nova here for the art stream. Nova's got projects that cannot be shown visually, secrets and deadlines and such. And so instead, it falls to me to pick up the tablet pen of artistry and use these chibis that were drawn by Nova to do some outfit designs for some of our characters who I'm migrating to a new setting. Basically. It's basically what happens. These are some OCs that existed in one setting, and now that story's been written over and over and over again. It's time to bring them somewhere new. It comes with, for some of them, new names, new twists on their stories, etc. But here in our grayscale, I've outlined, or I have the original character designs, and I've traced some bodies of them from there. Heavy is the head who wears the artist beret. I've heard that phrase before. You feel that? Yep. Yeah, so this is our starring cast, so our core four, as it were. Of these four, I actually already did one months ago. And I'll use that to demonstrate what I'm planning on doing today. Not to say that this character is going to not get a new one, but yeah. But so basically, I've gone through here and I took this bottom left character over here, formerly named Addy, now Ade, and I went through a couple different design iterations of her, right? Trying to figure out if I wanted her to be, say, for example, from the more, like, magic-y, science-y nation of the new setting. Give her some fancy goggles. That nation's all about the colors pink and white, so give her an outfit along those themes. Or another route that I'm leaning towards instead, right? Like, as I did these outfit designs, was that I was thinking of actually making her a member of one of the faiths of the settings, and so instead she ends up in red and gold and having regalia more akin to what is typical of that faith. And so this is the kind of thing I'm trying to go through today, but for everyone else, right? Come up with some sort of an outfit or two, but it's also kind of workshopping stories at the same time. So I have a very odd streaming setup today, connecting my tablet to the computer. So if you see me looking around even more than usual, that's why. Also, don't look too closely at my methodology for doing this. As I've said, I'm not really an artist, so I may use some roundabout methods to get things done. So I think the first one I'm going to start with is the one that I have the clearest idea of what's going to come next for her. You're intrigued about these methods? Well, aren't you supposed to be busy? You can't look too closely. But anyway, I've got these. Basically, each of my little helpful folder here has the base sketch for every character, right? But now not everything's gonna stay the same from the base to the original. I'm an artist now. Welcome to arting time. Thank you. I've been officially designated artist. I'll need to update the stream title and all the advertisements. I'm gonna start with Rikit up here. She is very likely going to be one of our more educated characters, which is a turnaround from her in the original story. So I'm going to give her... I'm going to call this one... This is her Guayabera outfit. Oh, I guess perhaps another important thing to note is this is a not real world Caribbean, but fantasy Caribbean setting. So a lot of the clothing styles is going to be drawn from that, and sort of like the. So I'm going to give her glasses because she's smart now. The thought did cross my mind that maybe someone could have glasses, and of all of them, she is the only smart one. But, you know. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start. Let's just start drawing. So I now have my base. I'm just gonna draw on top of the base for now. We're gonna zoom on in. Let me see. Okay, yes, stream looks like how I'd expect it to. I'm going to be doing a lot of shapes because I am not a I don't have much in the way of reference off the top of my head, but we're going for a Guayabera either along. We could do a shirt, we could do a dress, we could do this is a kind of like a collared shirt, right? So we've got some kind of something like this, right? Comes down. These shirts are generally not tucked in, even though they are a kind of dress-ish shirt, right? So we go somewhere like that. Some buttons. And one of the fun things about these ones is they often have like extra I don't know what quite to call these decorations, right? But they have these extra side patterns, which I am quite fond of, that sort of go down the side here and often come with pockets. Pleats? Yeah, maybe. That sounds like it might be right? So if she ends up in this outfit, she will have not 2, but 4 pockets on her shirt alone. Truly, a versatile outfit just for that reason, if nothing else. This outfit was also something that would be slightly on the nicer side, but not like unreasonably so, right? Like this wouldn't be considered like a super fancy outfit. Could do short sleeves maybe. In fact, let's put this up here. Let me just not that one. Hide that. There we go. Make the base a little bit, just for the moment while I'm drawing this shirt here. The other fun thing about this character is that I am. Well, actually, let's give her pants before we talk about the rest of this. In the original, you can see she's got these poofy shorts. Probably wouldn't be very visible under like a long button down like this, so maybe give her something a little bit longer. Maybe keep the boots. It is a hot climate, so having, I don't know, some kind of calf or midsection of the leg exposed might be a good. It does kind of look like an oversized baseball jersey, just from this loose sketch, which isn't exactly what I'm going for. But we can fix that, and we can fix that. Now you want to do comic stuff too? Yeah, you should. Oh, at work? Yeah, probably can't do that at work. Probably can't, unfortunately. All right, but we'll give her some long shorts. We'll give her some similar boots. I'm just gonna rename this to a whole outfit right now. Let's call this outfit 1 instead, since it's no longer just a shirt. We'll give her some boots that are kind of like her existing boots. Oops. Dun. You know, I have a hard enough time drawing without someone, usually Nova, watching me. So I don't entirely know why I signed up to do this. But maybe I just thought it would be kind of fun and give me an excuse to work on these characters who I have not gotten to spend much time with since beginning streaming. Streaming has been sort of the creative way I spend my time these days. It means all these poor little characters are just running around out there, getting to do what they want and not suffering because I made them go through a dramatic story. Did it for the thumbnail. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly why I decided to do it, because I thought the thumbnail would be funny, which honestly I did immediately think of that thumbnail. The concept is also funny, right? It's a lot funnier when it's not me, when someone else does that kind of thing. But I don't know, outfit design, especially since I have all of these Nova provided, though, you know, not made for this purpose, but Nova provided chibis to work with. I can use as my little dress-up dolls. It makes it a lot more manageable. All right, there we go. Now, we got some basic clothes, right? We got some boots, we got some shorts, we've got a shirt that probably needs its collar to, I don't know, stand up a little more or something. Still not beating the Boy Scout looking style. Now Kiss mashes dolls together. Yeah, no, I barely have the artistic intuition for outfit design. I'm not gonna... There's going to be no romantic drawings today, unfortunately. Alright. And the other fun thing about this character... Oh, I actually already drew both boots, is I'm probably going to be taking some of her limbs as a part of her backstory. We're gonna Edward Elric her. Let's see, which limbs does Edward Elric lose? Do we do those ones? Do we mirror it? Take your arms, these are mine now. Yeah, I mean, kind of, right? I don't entirely... I haven't decided on what incident will cause this. Alright, so he's got right arm, left leg. Maybe we'll get both of her right limbs, right? So maybe we will take from just above the elbow here. So we'll let her keep here, and then we'll start... We want to do something with this one. And then I'll switch out the boot too. So in this revised story, her big thing is that she's from a not particularly well-off family, gets into an accident at a relatively young age. I don't know, some child age of 10, 12, somewhere in that region. Her family goes into debt in order to sign her up for an experimental, cool science magic limb replacement thing. Her brother goes into works for the science lab as a way of paying this debt, but then one day he goes missing, and without him paying the debt, they threaten to repossess her limbs. So she's got to find her brother, not just because she wants to, but because they're coming for her arms and legs. Takes your arms, these are mine now. Yes, exactly. So I guess the question is, what would make for a cool arm design? So there's two routes we can go for this. We can go metal, we could go wood, or at least those are the two that jump out to me. Hot rod flames. Okay, hold on. Let's give that a try. So let's give it, if we're doing flames, let's give it some extra angular. Let's give some angular. This is also kind of pleating, but I feel like I see it in like armor joints or something, so that's probably appropriate. Get some kind of armor joint. We get you go. Here's a hand with some chunky fingers. And now... that doesn't look like fire. What's the best... oh wait, actually, maybe if I do it like... almost. I was gonna say these little pleats almost look like they could be engine things if you put fire out the side there. Bones. You know, actually, I guess that is a third option here. She could have some sort of funky bone arm or leg, right? I'm trying not to just spout world building to you all, my captive audience, trick you here with an art stream, and then it's actually me ranting about lore stream. But bones, or rather a bone-like material called stone marrow, could be a pretty valid material for it. Magical rocket punches. Okay, that might be overdoing. I mean, some form of utility would not be bad to have on this arm, right? So let me see. What if we do go a little bit more? See, so in this quote unquote style, I'm not sure the best way to represent. Let me look up. I'll look up some bone. I don't know, bone texture or something like that. Because I don't think I want it to look like an arm bone, but I want it to look, I don't know, marrow-y. Or not, I guess maybe not the marrow itself, but like all the stuff the marrow stored. And I'm a little vague on the different subsections of bones. You're intermittent as you're trying to bake, but excellent discussions. Yeah, no problem. I hope, what are you, when you have time to answer, what are you baking? Yeah, so we also have plant matter, fibrous magical plant fibers, which comprise magical equipment. So we'll probably want either those fibers or the bone texture. You know, in Lily Dew's voice, Amasha, what are we baking? Very, very good. Very appropriate. Thinking. Do we want... Let's see, what if we do something like... We'll cut the hand. We'll have the hand be one material. The elbow be another. Alright. And this is something that will probably come across much better if I color it in than just right here because of the shapes involved. Right? Like, now it just looks like extra line. Maybe if I make it slightly bigger than the arm. Than the actual arm feeding into it, right? It might just look like an elbow pad. If we maybe give her some... cut stone for the elbow, that'll let her do some, you know, really elbow someone hard with like a elbow made of rock, right? And we can have wood for the forearm and maybe for the hand for dexterousness. Muffins, ooh, sounds good. Any particular type of muffins, a variety? Clean up this little bit right here. And let's texture it a little bit so that it's clear. What these materials are, at least for now. Maybe we can always replace this with color, but I'm gonna kind of put the I don't know, bone marrow isn't really like a cracked open bone isn't really circles. It's very webbing looking. I guess it's kind of circles. Like a bunch of nested circle-y type stuff. So I'll do that for now. That's something that would make people she runs into uneasy, which is good. This is a good thing. So originally I did do some passes at, again in the distant past, at character designs for some of this set. And an outfit not too dissimilar from this in the shirts, pants, boots, etc. was given to another one of these for. I think I'm going to give... I need to come up with something else for him. So, alright, there we go. We got... Doesn't really look like Marrow, but maybe if I put... I think the difference in textures is really just what I want to go for here. Maybe not quite fully stripes. Maybe something like... Wood sometimes has... Yeah, okay, that kind of looks like... That kind of looks like wood to me on that forearm, and we'll do a similar for and you know, if we get really fancy, maybe she can get little stone knuckles for punching. Like presumably whatever experiment she had was not just to yeah, okay, sure. They wanted to get her limbs functional again. That's great. That's part science, right? That's worth investing in. But they certainly also packed in some other magical features and abilities. And, you know, if you're going to be making violent contact as a part of an experiment, having those stone knuckles, probably a good idea. Let's give her leg the same treatment. I think for now we'll just do the same idea unless we get something else later, which is going to be we're gonna make her knee be a stone marrowy chunk again for pretty powerful pretty powerful martial moves can be done with a piece of rock slapped to the parts of your body that do a lot of damage, you know? So. But does it have a cup holder? Fantastic question. We have to decide on how multifunctional these limbs are and how interchangeable. So anyone, not that I expect everyone in chat to have watched it, but anyone who watched Nova and I playtest Daggerheart, part of the inspiration for doing this to this character came from Nova's character in Daggerheart, pirate named Nico, who also has a prosthetic limb. Now, Nico was also a setting migrated character who showed up in a different tabletop RPG before being reused for that one. And so, what started as a piratey prosthetic, you know, very, very hook and cannon arm type stuff, morphed into more of a divine one, not by his choice, but just by circumstance in our playtest. And that's sort of what inspired me to be like, oh, I'm sure if there's a divine version of this, that the resident hyper-capitalists of the setting will be trying to use unethical experiments to replicate it. So, would hyper-capitalists put cup holders in prosthetic limbs? I would say, that was the roundabout way to get to your question, I would say probably yes, right? Maybe not as like the main thing, but certainly there's like some kind of extendo arm attachment for your, in case you ever need to get your butler a new arm, that butler will be able to, will be able to carry so many more drinks and trays and things. It's a good one shot to watch / plug. Yes, it's a good one shot that only took 2 videos. Yep. No, I had a lot of fun with it and playtesting a new system, even though it was one that was more, definitely more built for a party than, a duet style play like we did. I'm thinking we probably don't need her wooden toes out. Or maybe she doesn't have them, I don't know. Then again, it might be nice to have, like, on the foot, the stone again, too. So, I don't know. We'll just change the shape. Make it very rigid. Actually, I'm kind of liking the idea of having the one side of her body full of... Now, let's ignore the fact that this isn't how feet bend. By ignore it, I mean let me erase it and try again, because I'm not going to ignore it, even though this is a silly design thing. I like the idea of one side of her having a lot of angular, artificial sort of shapes, and the other side being much more organic, because, well, wouldn't you know, she is in fact a real human person with real human, you know, proportions and body parts. So, I don't know, just having the... Here you go. We get... to get another stone heel for those extra kicks. I don't know what this is for. This is just for texture, I guess. So it matches a little bit more with the other boot. Oh, she's real? Jesus, that's crazy. Wait, what did I say? What's provoking this? I don't remember what word. Alright, wood grain would not do this, but I'm again just doing the texture here. Oh, right, the organic shapes. Okay, now I got it. Now I remember what I said to provoke that. Did I draw on the wrong layer for most of that? Yes. No, okay. Just for a little bit. That's fine. Whatever. That doesn't matter. Alright. Next thing's next. So, save me. Oh, remember to save. Yes. There we go. That's Control S. And it's done. Alright, so let's see here. Next question we have for us is hairstyle. So for this character, an iconic trait was the fact that she had long hair. She's now moving to a very warm setting, which, should she keep her long hair, would make her stand out even more amongst other characters, make her very memorable in that sense. And in fact, if we zoom out right here, no one else has hair past, well, I guess maybe Noelle here in the bottom right. It's a little bit past her shoulders. Like, that's the longest we got, and I don't think I have a lot of characters who have long hair, who are queued up to be in this setting. So she could keep it. Oh, you just saw Gray's hair. Yeah, he's got this little... I don't know what to call it. I do not know what the name of this... Oh yeah, here, I'll put the little... Everyone's got their little name tags on there. Yeah, I don't quite know what to call this hairstyle. I'm sure it has a name. I like the curls, like shaved on one side of the head and then curls flopping over to the other side of the head. I think it's a generally good-looking hairstyle. I wish my... Yeah. But, no, it's nice. It's nice. It's a good one. Oh, actually, something I forgot about, Rakit over here, is that something we might also see on her design. I think you can see my pointer. Not very well. Can't really see my pointer too well, so I'll circle it with a... Look at all the purples and pinks I've been using. Alright, here we go. So she's got these... Undercut is what the save side of the head is called. I don't know about the locks part. Yeah. So Rakita over here, she's got some ribbony ties. The hairstyle from that guy from Black Panther. That does sound like a good technical term. Oh, and thanks for stopping by, Lena. Rabbit Legs, good to see ya. Here on my art stream. Oh no. But since Rakita over here had these ribbons, something I wanted to do, but forgot, was I wanted to give her a belt. Something that's almost like a martial arts belt. I have no idea where's the... Let's call it belt. Yeah, people say it. It's one of the cookie cutter hairstyles for POC now. Oh, is it? Oh no, am I stereotyping my characters a little bit too much? It's still cool though. I mean, it's probably a cookie cutter one for a reason, right? Like, it looks good. I really just looked up a bunch of hairstyles I thought would fit him. Now that he's no longer got funky anime albinism, give her like this long belt to sort of call back to. You can use this to call back to her original ribbons without being too, too intrusive on the overall design. Pumpkin muffins? Pumpkin muffins. The library, we've had some pumpkin... I don't know if bread is the right word. I don't remember the advertised term either. Some kind of pumpkin sweet breakfast bread for breakfast. It's good. Hey, there you go. She's got her belt now. So that's good. We got that. But the question of her hair remains. So do we keep her hair nice and long, or do we switch it up? Let's see. So it's pretty easy to just, let me see, if I phase this up, right, we can get most of it. While I think about this, let's clean up the underbody sketch to make everything look a little bit cleaner. Get a slightly better idea of the design here. Right? So now you no longer have those phantom limbs on the underside to see the shapes a little bit more clearly. Same thing, no more phantom legs. Just some extra hair lingering about. And there we go, get rid of this foot. You've drawn her with her hair up before? I do feel like I vaguely recall that. The question is, should that be her canonical design in this migrated form? Or should we keep the long hair, you know? Let's see. Call this over. Put these ones in there. Let's bring this up again. I think at this point, rather than sketching over, we're going to fuse these. Folders and folders and folders. Like this feels pretty alright to me as is. There's the questions of, is it climate appropriate? And the answer is no. It's not climate appropriate to be in fantasy Caribbean and have hair quite this long. But I guess you could also canonize it as she's been, getting all these funky operating procedures on her, probably spending a lot of time indoors with air conditioning. So let's leave it for now because I don't have a better idea, and let's clean up a little bit more. And then we have to decide. She could tie her hair sometimes, it's true, and a nice ponytail is always a good thing. This is a lot. Let's see. Let's take. Do I have a separate hair layer? I do have a separate hair layer. So let's just duplicate that. Let's fade this one. Oh wait, no, we don't need to fade it. No, yeah, we will once we're erasing. All right. Let's go here. Big eraser. Take out the lower part. Alright. And let's see. If we apply definitely real hair volume to being tied, we could put it off on the side, have something long over here. Right, that's definitely not the right amount of volume, but could keep that general shape. Could put it on the back or put it up top somewhere. Let's see. Let's bring this one in. I don't know, what if we put a... Everyone loves a side ponytail, right? Not that I am probably the one to draw it. She's got so much hair. This is a... This would cause neck damage. This volume. That's neck. You are the one to draw it. That's true. I am the one to draw it. Because this is my art stream. And I decided I was the one going to be doing an art stream. I forced myself to... Alright, that looks... Alright, I gotta... I would... Yeah, that... Who does... This reminds me of someone else. Who does this remind me of? This reminds me of another character. Hold on. Let me make sure. Okay, never mind. It's not as close of a resemblance as I thought. For a second, I was reminded of Shantae, the video game character. What is it? I forget the game series. I don't think I've played any of them, but I do remember seeing them on the internet. Just a big ponytail, but hers is very different. No, that... Let's fix the shaping a little bit. Not the biggest fan of that shape. But I do feel like it has to have some puff to it if it's gonna be... She's gonna pull it up, right? Either that or she has a big... God, what's it called? When drawing from the back, right? Where you get the hair and then it comes in together. Right? And you get the thing and then it just goes poof again right afterwards. Right? Just like... That could also be... Shantae from Shantae. Yes, that one. That one. So that's another alternative, just having it right in the back when tied. Local punchin' character. Right. Does not look... Well... I'm not 100% sold on the execution. I feel like there's a better shape for it. But the idea of it, I think, is functional. Let me try a different shape again. Let's see. More like... Maybe give it like a little bit more twistingness. Yeah, again, that's definitely not the volume of hair that the image on the right has, but you know, still, it's something like that. We'll put an or, one of those two, maybe. You getcha. I may have missed what thing specifically, but at least the vibes seem to be at least in an okay place. Yeah, and she can let her hair down whenever she wants. Let's see, do we do palettes or do we move on to another one? Oh, wow, I've already spent 45 minutes doing this one really sketchy design. All right, let's not do palettes right now. Let's do another sketch, another character. We're gonna call this one temporarily done. We got a neat shirt. We got some artificial limbs. We've got the belt, new hairstyle. All right. Next. You've been doing it for X amount of time? That's art, baby. Yep. Very true. Very true. All right. So we're going to call this one Noelle Pirate because she's probably going to look like a pirate in this one. So oh no, where's layer 1? Where did I accidentally put a layer 1? That's illegal. You can't have a layer named layer 1. There's nothing on it. Delete. Alright. Ooh. Let's call us closed for now. So, Noelle here, our friend here, in the her original incarnation, she was very much a rogue to begin with. Sailor type, water-based abilities. Father was a criminal. So she's probably going to follow the same overall trajectory here. Let's see. Gotta give her some kind of piratey coat, maybe some kind of long coat. Let me just look at it. Let me just look at some of the quintessential pirates in my mind. Because, you know, there's certain media representations of pirates who I remember more clearly than others. Let's see. Gotta do some refreshers. Alright, so it's more of a... Generally speaking, anyway. We get the open coat. And then with a bunch of stuff on the inside. Wonder what that could be. Yeah, I have no ideas. Let's see, does she have a high collar? No, I don't know. Let's just start with the... So we could give her something like... Something like this with the sleeves torn off so she can show off muscles. Maybe that sounds like something she would do. Some kind of sleeveless long coat. Showing off is very important, especially for this character. She is our local thrill seeker. Not to like a crazy degree, but she likes a healthy amount of violence and mayhem. You know, she knows what she's good at. So we can put some kind of coat here. That looks less piratey and more magey. What am I doing with that? Why is that the case? Maybe it's just because she's missing the inner shirt. Right? So let's give her a... Let's just make this look all sorts of busy And we'll clean it up later. We'll give her a collar. Not too deep of a V, but you know, some kind of something like that. Slightly steeper angle. Actually maybe slightly steeper angle for the outer part of the collar, but we get that fun like layered coming up a little bit, right? Something like that. And then let's see. Does she probably has a belt with guns in it. That's probably something that she would have. So something in the original, she's very much an up-close sort of character. Or I guess that's not true. She's very mid-distance, right? She's got her water abilities, and she's got a chain that she uses, very pushing and pulling. How many guns? Great question. Fantastic question, really. I do not know. What do we think the appropriate amount of guns is for this woman? I mean, obviously she has her guns in her muscles as well, but I'm gonna have probably some kind of poofy pants to help hide those weapons. Oh, should we give her a Final Fantasy amount of belts? Well, maybe not a full Final Fantasy amount of belts, but like, you know, an extra one or two for extra munitions. Alright, so then she's gonna have like a pouch here. All these things are way too small, but oh, there you go. Make it a little bigger. Like one kind of pouch here for something. We'll have a... This is definitely a firearm of appropriate size. No. That's too bad even for what I'm going for here. There we go. So I'm feeling like with this revision, right, the main... We have Ade over here. She's probably still going to be the main ranged magic DPS. In the OG, we had Felix over here with his gun as being the main physical ranged. But maybe Noelle will take over that role. Right? Maybe she can be the gun person. So let's see. We do that. Pants. Need some pants. I just look up... Actually, let me look up something I meant to do beforehand, but did not have the time for. Was to look up the military uniforms of the Spanish Navy in the year 1900 or so. Not that she would be wearing one, because she probably wouldn't, but you know, pirates might take something nice off of people that they fight against. I know the 1900s is a little bit late for age of piracy, but you know, you gotta... This is a fictional setting. I'm just loose analogs. So we got a variety of options. Alright, here's one that maybe it's a little bit too similar to what Keith's got going, but there's one that's kind of puffy. I'll put this as pants here. There's one that's kind of puffy, right? It goes down to a little bit past the knees, so it looks kind of loose. It's the kind of thing that I feel like I can imagine pirates wearing easily enough. And then after this, there's something much more like skin tight that goes down over the shoe, like to the top of the shoe. I feel like that's something that I feel like, okay, yeah, this feels That feels good and somewhat distinct. Not that a chibi is going to actually have muscles. You love the tiny gun. Yeah, this gun is too small. Like this is a not even a this is a water pistol for children. I need to. You know, I don't need to do anything because that's not what this is right now. That's not what this is not a produce polished results, and I'm drawing on the pants layer. It's not a produce polished results stream. This is a, you know, get the design down. All right, there we go. We got pants, shoes. You know what? They're half covered at this point. We're just gonna say that she does wear shoes of some kind. Probably something that's either slightly water resistant or Crocs. One of the two. Those are very era appropriate as well, I'm sure. Alright, let's clean up this underbody a bit. See how this is looking. Yeah, we're moving a little bit faster this time, mainly because I'm trying to focus on not being as meticulous as before. Okay, there we go. We've got a coat. We've got. Let's fix these ones. There we go. That makes it look a little bit less like a hoodie, because I don't think she would need that. Not in this heat. Crocs. Oh yes, someone was listening. That was completely a joke, because that would not be era appropriate whatsoever. But you know, she's got to wear something, and probably something has to be something that'll stay on her feet as she's running around the ship's deck, but also probably can't be too uncomfortable when it's wet. So likely some manner of boot, but I don't know enough about footwear to pick one. This pose that she's in is perhaps a little bit too reminiscent of her old self, because of, you know, her old fighting style, but that's okay. We're going to leave that. I'm now going to reference my own notes. So one of the things with her is, like many pirates, and as you might be able to see from the little side picture, is that she does have an eye patch. In her original version, she started the story with an eye. She did lose it over the course of the story, and becomes a little bit of a recurring point of frustration for her. So she sometimes takes it in stride, sometimes not, you know. But in this one, given the differences of the setting, and because it's a lot more, I don't want to say pirate-y, but like, it's of the era where I feel like glass eyes and wooden eyes were perhaps a little bit more common. Given the magical methodologies of the world as well, I feel like having a sick magic eye at some point could happen to her. Not saying it will, but if it was to happen, what would it look like, I wonder? And for that, let me see. There would be... Let's see, so if she was to gain some form of water powers from an eye, tend towards ocean greens and blues, with the initial color resembling the water of where it was made, shift over time as they spend their days in other bodies of water. Okay, so it's mostly about coloration than anything else. Would just be kind of, you know, not a real eye. So in a proper drawing, I would try to do something to differentiate it from the other eye. Right now, what I've done is I've not put the highlight on it, which doesn't really feel like what would happen, especially if it was a glass eye. I feel like the glass eye would also get the highlight. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just put more like wood grain, not wood grain, but you know, just like put some texture on this to show that it's a little different. Either that or we just give her the eye patch. Like, she doesn't really need to have the extra fancy eye, but it is something that could happen. Wait, what is this stray line? Is that part of the hair? Oh, okay, I don't think we need whatever this is. It was part of the body. Alright. Let's see, alternate hairstyles for her. I think her hairstyle is fine. The real question is, does she get a big hat? Right? And does she have any cool pirate tattoos? You can't see the one in this existing chibi, but she does have like a... She does have like a compass rose, you know, sort of looking thing on one of her arms in the original. So maybe she'll still have that. I feel like that could stick around. That's still on brand. And the original was a symbol of her criminal organization she was born into. So same circumstances apply. Biggest hat. It's the tattoo is on her other arm. Yes, you're right. It is on the other arm. I just drew it here because I could see it. Sorry, I knew it was on her other arm. I know that's why it's not visible. I wasn't trying to accuse Nova of not drawing it. I just put it here to show it. And because we're changing settings, anything could happen. All right, I've got one called Big Hat. So let's see what. Let's do some shapes for our big hat. Let's see what we got. We could do... How does one draw perspective on a tri-cornered hat that doesn't make it look like a witch hat? That's not what that's supposed to look like. Hold on. I know how to resolve this by looking at an image of one. Oh, so Spanish Navy did not have tri-corner hats at that era, which, again, that's fine. Tricorns were popular from... They were out of style by the early 1800s. Okay, well, maybe it's a throwback. Maybe it's a throwback hat, because... I don't know, I feel like a pirate who has a cylindrical cap like this, that does not feel piratey to me. That feels train conductor. You know, you can't. Well, maybe if it was askew so it felt mocking. No. Unless... Rule of cool, rule of cool, rule of cool. I assume that's for the tricorn, right? Alright, so let's see. I do not know the perspective with which one would draw. Maybe she can get, like, the hunter hat. That's not big enough. This hat's not big enough. How you can immediately tell the difference between where I'm overlaying something I reasonably know the shape of over an existing drawing and where I'm just glancing up at a reference photo and praying, right? Just from the... And there we go. Let's see. Can I... Oh yes, I gotta add the little... Part of this is it's got those extra... Got these extra thingies, right? Alright. Maybe this middle part's a little bit too big. Gotta increase the the folds. Decrease around top. Could even tie the hat to her character's legacy or heritage somehow. Something I want to try to do more with this revised setting compared to the original. Because in the original, a lot of people they had their family connections and it affected them. I want to bring them a little bit more to the forefront. I want this one to be a lot more about the culture one is born into and the goods and bads of that. Whereas the original was more like it was more of an adventury-type story that didn't... It had its issues that it examined, but not really in like a literary way. This one's gonna be artsy. Give him the Captain Crunch hat. Hold on, let me look at the Captain Crunch hat. Is it not? Oh, wait. Wait, it's starting to come back to me. Aha. Okay. We'll call this... Change this to Try Hat. Alright. We'll call this one CC Hat. Let's take a look just to see what it's like. Just to have a glimpse. Shouldn't take long, right? It's a very simple shapes, right? There we go. I think I made it a little bit too large, but you know, otherwise, let's just scale this one. Let's scale this one just a little bit. You know, it's my mistake. That's really what's. What do we think? Does it suit her? I'm inclined to say yes. No. Let me move that tattoo then so it's on the right arm as well. It's much harder to read as a tattoo over there, but that's fine. Perfect. Alright. Well, let's see. We've got... That one was so much faster. Maybe because she doesn't have anything on her sleeves. Maybe because everything's a little bit simpler. She can keep that hat for now. Actually, unless... Is there another type of hat that we want to try? Let's see. I'm currently scrolling through images of different hats. One moment. Top hat would be kind of funny, but some kind of fancy armored hat, probably a bit much. No. Is there another one I want to try? I feel like there could be, but I don't know enough about hats. Alright. I'm gonna focus back on work. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Alright. Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna fix this tricorn because I feel like it's just a little bit, angles are a little bit off maybe. There we go. We're going to call us Try Hat 2. Because really, for Felix over there, he's the one who I have the least idea of what I want to do. So I'm going to buy some time and think about it while trying to adjust the angles on this hat. So Felix, our fourth protagonist in this ensemble cast story, is rather different than I think his original take in terms of role in the party, but is actually very similar in terms of his like overall story and personality. I just think it's gonna be it's just a different take on the same sort of vibes, but I think the difference that's really gonna hit him here is the lack of a stable place. Whereas in the other story, they were able to get some stability pretty early on. Whereas this party, I don't know, maybe they'll be able to relax, but I doubt they're going to be as comfortable as in the other one. The other one, there was a lot more ability to earn money and thus also spend it. Whereas this group's going to have a little bit more trouble, I think. Need some kind of food. Muffins are in the oven, finally. Oh, hooray. I do think we could use a Nova food emote. Tacos would be a good suggestion for it. I wonder, when I think of Nova and food, tacos, specifically a particular taco fast food restaurant, are one of the places I think of. I also tend to think of things like soup or big spaghetti. Wait, actually, don't we have a Nova big spaghetti emote somewhere? Am I wrong? It's just not on here? It's just not on Twitch? I feel like there's a Nova big spaghetti emote. Oh no, just a regular big spaghetti. Okay. Fair enough. Alright, well, that's too bad. I guess keep that in mind. That could be something that's Nova-fied for the future. Needs to be wider due to her giant chibi head. Needs to be a good bit wider. Maybe somewhere around here would be good. This is actually very similar to how I used to draw growing up. Just like drawing very lightly and then darkening in the lines as I moved over. Doing mostly character designs rather than anything dynamic, right? Like tracing over some character I liked the general vibe of, but then applying a new outfit and hairstyle to, and I'm like, and now you are mine. You're now a different character. Completely original. I think a good number of my ancient original characters, less so these days, started as a, I don't want to say palette swap. That's a little bit not enough changes, but, modifications. How we all start out, yeah. A lot of them did start as, just take another character and tweak them until suddenly they no longer resemble that character you base them off of anymore. They are now their own person. And then eventually, they get in your head, and they're like, hey, let us out of your head. And escape onto paper. And here they are. Alright, I think that looks better than the original. Okay, I think it needs more of a rounded corner. like the originals got. So let me round this out. Round that out a little bit more. Maybe it doesn't need that front line either. Now I'm getting into the details because I think rather than start for leaks, I'm just gonna stop with these two, or maybe do like a very quick palette on each of them. Alright, let's see, where's her hair? There's her hair. Alright, we can always grab the backup if we need it, if we change our mind on the hat later. But for now, let's just move this. And you know what? Given the hat, I think, rather than this extra eye with its extra eye texture, which I'll put in there, I think she should have the eye patch in this one. I think it just goes with the vibe too well to not. Actually, I guess I should. Me putting anime girls in paint and changing their outfits 1 pixel at a time? Yeah. Yeah. Like, that's... It's also very fun to do. Like, honestly, even now, right, just to, like, take a character who you like the design and be like, alright, I want to turn you into someone else. I don't know, it's fun, it's a lot less stress than... Well, I don't want to say stress, it's a lot less effort than designing a whole character from scratch, you know? As long as you don't have to use a laptop trackpad again. Oh no. Yeah, no, I could not imagine. Well, actually, I guess I don't have to imagine. I too have used laptop trackpads, but I have been fortunate that I do have a tablet with a pen for most of my artistic endeavors. But that's probably because if I had to use a laptop trackpad, I just wouldn't. I would write instead. Do that to your own OCs, like looking at transposing old characters. That's basically all your characters. Oh yeah, that's fun. I think once you spend a lot of time with characters, you want to take them with you, you know, as you move on to other concepts and such, and that's basically what's happening here. I'm sure at one point, this version of them will grow so far apart that they will no longer feel like the other ones, or maybe not, actually. I don't know, I said I was sure, but maybe not. You didn't have a tablet until well into high school, Masha? Oh, me neither, but I didn't draw when I was younger. Well, that's not true. I drew on paper when I was younger, but not very frequently and not very well. I've definitely spent a lot more... Actually, I guess I always doodled in the margins of my... That eye patch is comically large because of the size that chibi eyes are, but that's okay. We're just gonna leave it there for now. You remember your days of drawing with a mouse in the Bezier tool? Nova? I worked for Osamu Tezuka. I am unfamiliar, at least off the top of my head, with that name. And when I was in high school, I used to draw anyone who... I don't know if anyone remembers or like would recognize. I used to do things like the old Toho style, like Yukari gaps with the eyeballs. Just these things were in like all of my school notebooks for years. Just cutting through my notes, you know. He would use character designs in different roles as if they were actors. He's a legendary... Astro Boy. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, part of what inspired me reusing these characters was also the game Hades, and just being like, hey, Mythology gets to have their characters reused all the time, so why can't I reuse all of my characters? You know? Oh, that's your version of the schoolgirl realistic eyes? I don't know what the schoolgirl realistic eye is, but yeah, I just basically would do this. You know, I'd fill the whole thing in, and then put the ribbons on at the end. And then boom. It's Toho. But, you know, this helped me pay much more attention in school. Let me focus my hands so that they wouldn't distract me from the lesson. Treating your own OCs as if they were public domain. Exactly. It's like, all right, I'm gonna take this character, and yeah, you know what? They were different. They were different in their own story, but what if I adapted them slightly? I love that Tezuka had a whole payroll sheet for his characters, the various roles they play. Oh, that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. Alright. So we got a couple minutes left, so maybe I'm gonna start doing a little bit of a palette. Let's see. Reboot. Now I'm just imagining the concept of doing AU spin-offs of your own game. It's fun to think about, and I guess sometimes it can be fun and inspiring, you know? Just to think of the same characters in different situations. Alright, let's see. So we're going to grab a dark gray for the pants, shorts, maybe something with like a little bit of a brown to it, you know, an off. Oh. Which I guess like the Yakuza series did. They had those games set in feudal Japan, they have the same characters in different roles, again, like their actors, which in the case of Yakuza, a lot of them have the faces of real-life Japanese actors already. I wasn't aware of that feudal Japan one, but I've not kept up with a lot of that series. And by not kept up of, I mean I mainly just see memes every now and again, and occasionally clips of other people playing it. Oh, they mostly didn't localize those. I see. From the era before their global success. At least I think the series is succeeding pretty well globally now. So a question for Rikito over here is, how much color do I want for her outfit? Like I could give her red, could give her white. Actually, I guess we already have Ade over there in red. Doesn't mean we can't have two red colored characters. The country she's from is associated with black and gold, which is why I did color in that belt black to think of, or for initially. Maybe I'll hollow that out real quick. Where's the belt? There we go. Let's hollow out the belt so I can give it so I can give it color. Oh, not that big. I didn't erase the shirt underneath. That's fine. That's fine. I'll fix that in a second. Alright. Yes, let's do some of this. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. These aren't going on any character bios anywhere. These are just gonna be used for other stuff in the future. Like, no reference. And let's fix up this little stray line. Nope, where's that? It's here. Get rid of that. Alright. Back to colors. I'm gonna call this shorts color. Belt. Red. Like let's grab a nice red. Maybe give her a bit of red, but not an overwhelming amount. Since we've already got a red and gold. So this, I don't feel like black would be a great color for the shirt, even though it's like those nations colors, but that doesn't mean that's the color all the clothes wear. Or everyone wears their clothes there. Need to clean off the counter for the muffins once they're cool once they're baked, but tired. Gold shirt. I could do a yellow gold. Sorry, not gold like actual made of gold, but you know, right? Yeah, a bit much. Yeah, I feel like it would be. Let's just slap white on there to start. Maybe I could do some kind of off-white or something similar. Or maybe like a, I don't know, like maybe like an outdoorsy green? Might have to change the belt color though, so it's not too Christmassy. Or an outdoorsy, something more chill as this shirt, yeah. That makes sense. We're just gonna call this shirt until we have a better idea. So let's see. I put that underneath here. Yeah, giving her a color that isn't red or black really does a lot to make her feel like a different character, because red and black were. Oops. No. There we go. Give me that back. Yes, I know there's a fill tool, but my lines do not permit me to use it easily. So I'm just gonna do this, and then if we recolor, we'll use that fill tool to fix it. Maybe like cargo pants tan. Yeah, that could work. It's like there's always this thing in my head that I know it doesn't have to be true, right? I'm like, if there's a group of people and they're the main characters, someone needs to be red, someone needs to be blue, and someone needs to be yellow. Like that just needs to be true. Part of my brain that demands it. But I think that probably isn't something I should be strictly adhering to. Especially not for no reason. Magical girl influence. Yeah. It's true, everyone has to have their dominant palette. Okay, so this does make the red pop, but perhaps too much. Could always do a duller one. Also makes you think of the OSP diatribe about main character tropes. Rather color-coded 5-man band diatribe. I'm not familiar with this particular speech about it, or rant or whatever collection, but certainly, yeah, I get it. God, I don't know, there's something about everything being categorized in roles and colors. Overly sarcastic productions. Highly recommend. Got it. I'll try to remember to give it a listen. Alright, let's see. So this is the part where I cheat really quickly. Let me grab skin tone from one of the ones I did of her earlier. Put that over here. Even though I know there's better ways to color things in, something about just using the pen tool and just drawing is very cathartic. Very like, ooh, crayons, color by numbers. I think it's... if I was doing art to like, you know, get something done, certainly an efficient way to be doing it. But as someone who doesn't draw a lot, with line art frequently giving me a hard time, it's a very therapeutic way to end. Especially because I basically just color in flat colors. You know, I almost never shade anything. It is relaxing in a way. Yeah, it's a little bit more mechanical, I guess. Just like, brain can stop thinking about what line looks right. You put the episode in the general channel because you can't. Ooh, alright, thank you. I might have time tomorrow. We'll see. Go. So many of these characters have one ear visible. Actually, by so many, do I do all of them? Do all of them have? No, okay. Ade over here is the only one who doesn't. Wow. I mean, it makes sense not many have 2 ear visibles because they're all like slightly turned. Oh, I guess you can see little clips of some of them. Muffins are done! Alright, please send them this way. Throw them into your nearest extra-dimensional portal. Por favor. Hope they came out well. They got a cool first, but yeah. Looks like it. Hooray! That's good. Always good for a baking project to succeed and not to come alive as you try to remove it from the oven. It's like I want to give this a slight, very slight tint of warmth in the stone, but I don't want it to look too woody. I still want it to be mostly gray. Somewhere around there, maybe? Maybe. No, that might be too... That's probably a little bit too brown. And nuance of color. I've been doing this on the hair layer, that's fine though. The hair does not come anywhere near these bits of stone. Okay, that's a little bit more stonish. Alright, let's grab hair color. Now we can actually do tied up hair. Oh, I missed a spot for the skin. Let's put a quick splotch down there. Was a little bit after stream end time. Alright, I'm gonna finish up this initial palette. I'll probably play with a few more some other time. I'll finish this first one and call it there. But we still got a little bit left to go for that. Just block in some big areas with the big brush. Something I like about this, well, something I guess is I find fun and neat about this cast is just how far apart they were all conceived as characters. Like, some of these ones have existed in the story for twice as many drafts as the other, but now I feel like they're all pretty core. And I don't want to say they all get along, because they don't always. But you know, it's hard for me to picture them without their interactions. Them and a couple others who aren't in the featured list today. I have a problem with keeping my cast size small. This is true whether I'm running a tabletop RPG or writing a story. There's always a lot of characters. I think a lot of the times that isn't a huge problem, as long as the characters just show up briefly for their thing and then move on. But certainly it can be overwhelming. Meanwhile, your brain can only squeeze out one Blorbo a year. Yeah, fair. So something I do for our non-streamed campaign is so the non-stream campaign takes place in the setting that these characters are migrating to, right? And one of the first things I did was create... Now, I'm not advising people do this method, but I made demographics for this fictional setting. It's like, all right, in this area, this percentage of people is of this faith and of this background. And for a lot of NPCs, I roll for where they're from, and that gives me, percentages to roll for what background and faith and, jobs they might have, and I'd roll all that. I roll for most characteristics like gender presentation and maybe a couple physical traits, and then from there I usually feel like I don't have to do much work. That's where a lot of the characters come from, and then the ones that the party attaches to, those are the ones that get promoted into fully fleshed out characters. Of course, I also have my folder of tabletop RPG characters I would like to play that I have barely made a dent in over the many years. You design characters when they're needed. Yeah, that makes sense. I think the way I do things is often very excessive. It's less like I'm designing characters and more like I'm designing the world by way of characters. In case the video game is like, well, this subplot needs a supporting cast. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right? Especially in a video game where people are by definition a lot more restricted in how they're going to engage in it, right? Like, you know, they can only go to certain areas, etc. You don't have to worry about them wandering or wanting to, or asking questions about, hey, what about that other place over there on that side of the map? Why is my old DeviantArt account with 2k plus pieces and probably half of which is characters? Ooh. See, everyone has their own different styles, it seems. Some people have a lot of characters, some people have a few. But regardless, I think we're all having fun with the ones we do make, which is what matters. I think part of what's funny is I actually did make new characters for this setting that I was going to write with, but due to a variety of factors, streaming, running a tabletop campaign, now running 2 tabletop campaigns, I feel like using characters that I'm already familiar with will enable me to write more easily, and having a new cast in a new setting have a familiar cast, if not exactly the same, in the new setting. You know? I also face another dilemma, which is how much of my hand to show beforehand. Ah, yes, that's also true. And always a difficult thing to, especially with video games and video game character designs, you know? So often you can tell how important a character is going to be by how much effort was put into their design. Try to foreshadow by having a character show up early, and the player might just be like, hey, why'd that white hair anime boy come in and say something cryptic? You're probably gonna be a villain, you know, etc., right? Yeah, that's a more restricted design space. Alright, we've got hair, we've got clothes, most of the body. Let's grab eye color. I also picked out already. We want to share all of your drawings, but you have so much that you are forced to sit on until they're ready. Oof. Yeah, that's tough. That is tough. Like, just trying to hold on to something you're excited about. And like, it would be fun to, I'm sure it would be fun to show off what you came up with and everything. But for the story, I guess being able to show them to close friends is a good compromise, but like I've already spoiled some things by way of out of context drawings, kind of. Yeah, that's tough, especially when like those friends are probably the people who you want to share your game with, you know? Mostly hope the majority of player base will be people who have not been looking at my social media for years before the game comes out. Yeah, that is a good hope. Let's add some pupils. Too big. Yeah, I remember for a long time when I was writing, Nova would ask me questions, be like, oh, I can't talk about that, it comes up later. It's just like, with how long it took me to write some of this stuff, it would sometimes be years between the start and the payoff. It's like, ugh, it's tough. Oh, I forgot I can draw underneath that. That makes that easier. Too big. Yeah, too long, like almost a decade. No, I feel old. That's more reasonably sized, no? There we go. That's good enough. You have shared muffins. Pumpkin muffins. Let's take this shade, make it slightly redder. What's a good... I want to kind of keep it in the earthy vibes range that she seems to be developing. Like maybe move it a little bit towards the red. Not too much. Somewhere around there maybe. And throw that on as the wood. I forgot the stone knuckles. I'll come back to those. Let's go right underneath them for now. I have no idea what's going on with the top of this foot. Probably need to change that. Really gotta... The whole thing with artificial... Especially artificial limbs with powers is you really gotta think about what you want them to do, and I have not for this moment. So these placeholders will just have to do. Oh yes, I put on the hair. There. You know what? We're just gonna make the boot the same. Oh, actually, no, no. Well, let's take it. Let's just make it a little bit darker. So we'll put some asymmetry in here. There's already plenty asymmetrical. but... Alright, there's the green. Let's try... Let me try that beige color for the shirt before we call it. Somewhere in this general direction. And that also looks good, I feel like. Maybe just a tad darker. I feel like maybe I'll have to adjust her based on what other people end up as. Whether we do the beige, the green. The green feels a little bit more military. Brown feels a little bit more, I don't know, wanderer-y. Not quite sure where I get that impression from, but that's what I got. But regardless, it's been almost 2 hours of a Monday art stream with me, Mordio, instead of Nova. I think that's where I'm going to call it. Good work today, team. We've got ourselves a pirate. We've got ourselves a not Edward Elric. That's 3 out of 4 with at least some semblance of an outfit. I'll have to get the 4th one at some point later. But thanks for stopping by, everyone. This was fun. This was fun. I don't know how often you'll see me instead of Nova in the art stream slot, but maybe every once in a while when the mood strikes me and Nova's unavailable. Let me slide us over. Oh yeah, as I'm getting ready to go, this week's a pretty sparse week here at the library, with no surprise because Nova is, in fact, so busy. We have 2 other streams this week, with a Wednesday Final Fantasy stream, which will have Nova. That is just a little bit of her free time that we were able to get. And then on Friday, it will be Rabbit and Steel again, but just one rabbit this time. Just me, while Nova's off doing other things once more. So, thanks again for coming, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed your time here at the library, and hope to see you again soon. Goodbye, and good night.